Welcome back to another episode of Life in Autofocus. I'm your host, Jaden Wheeler, and today I wanted to take some time to really just dive into how I got into photography and what my childhood was like growing up that led me to pursuing this as a career for myself. I think growing up, I spent a lot of time being around creative people artistically. My dad is really into drawing and lettering. Both my grandparents are painters. My grandfather also a very talented drawer. So all around my house, we always had sketchbooks, pads of paper, and I feel like that was a main activity in my childhood growing up was doing arts and crafts and grabbing a pad of paper and just going hard with the crayons, creating whatever I could think of. Not really photography related, but I also did spend a lot of my childhood journaling and writing poems and really just secluding myself in the world of pen and paper. I used to write poems quite literally about everything around me, about the different seasons, about what I would see on a nature walk, how I was feeling in a moment. So it really did get me in tune with my feelings and just being imaginative with what I could write in a sentence. Fast forward to grade 8 when I got my first camera for myself. I found that I was spending quite a bit of time out in nature, just really honing in on the beauty of nature, and all the little things that make up our surroundings. I remember a lot of the photos that I used to post when I first started taking photographs were of flowers or of trees or of the sunsets or of the rivers that were around my home. I really did spend hours upon hours each day after school with my camera, just immersing myself into nature and surrounding myself there. The one thing that I found with doing photography or even with journaling or drawing is it really takes you out of the world, and releases you from the thoughts and stresses and chaos of the world and allows you to just be exactly who you want to be and do exactly what you want to do. There are no limitations when you're taking photos or when you're journaling or when you're drawing. So the limit is really what you want it to be. And I think that's something that I learned carrying on the years of doing photography. I wasn't even necessarily looking at it for like the perfect photo opponent, or like I wasn't really looking at it like I'm going to go out and I'm going to shoot this most amazing photo ever. I was really using it as an escape for myself to just relax and ease my mind and allow my thoughts to run freely. And whatever came of that was a result of just how I was feeling that day. There were tons of days where I would shoot absolutely garbage images. They just did not turn out well. And then there were some days where I shot photos and would surprise myself with how well it turned out. One thing that never changed, whether they were good photos that came out of it or bad photos, was I felt I was truly being myself while I was doing it. And I think that's really something that any kind of passion or job or business or pursuit that you make for yourself, it really should encompass you feeling 100% content and at ease in yourself while you're doing it. As we kind of near graduation of high school there, I started getting involved with doing portraits of people, and that's where I really found my footing for my passion. I think I really enjoy when I can take a photo of somebody and be absolutely obsessed with the image, and then I show the photo to them and they see themselves in a completely different way than they saw when they first came into the session. And I think as a photographer, that's truly the best gift that we have, is each photo shoot that we do, each person that we connect with is an opportunity for us to show them in a way that they've never seen themselves before. And a lot of that goes beyond just the photo that you're showing them at the end of the day. I work really, really hard to maximize my time with my clients and really build a session that is truly all about them. And that means breaking down those barriers and those walls that people typically have when they go into a photo shoot, and really making sure that my client is comfortable, relaxed, and truly enjoying themselves in that moment. And so you'll find that a lot of the time with my photo shoots, I spend more time chatting and cracking jokes, making goofy remarks, dancing or singing, whatever it is, Like, you'll find that I do more of that in my photo shoots than I actually do taking photos. And it's because I really strive for authenticity in my photo shoots. And if you're not feeling it and you're not 100% there, it's 100% going to show in the photo. And so I think another, that's a perfect tip for anybody booking your photo shoot. If you're not feeling up to it, like if you're not waking up the day of your photo shoot saying, "Oh my God, I'm so excited for this photo shoot. It's going to be such a blast. I can't wait." If you have doubts and you feel like you're just not all there, talk to your photographer and let them know ahead of time. Try to see if it's something that can be worked out. It might be able to be worked out in advance, but it also could just be an indication. Maybe it's just not the right day for your photo shoot, and maybe you need to wait until you're in a better headspace to go and get your photos done. The last thing you want to try to do is force yourself through a photo shoot. They make for very, very, very awkward photos. I think we've all had that one moment in our life where you're at a family photo function or something, and the photographer calls you out specifically saying, "I need you to smile more. I need you to show some teeth," and makes it very awkward for yourself. And then you look at the photo and you see, and you're straining your face back, and it just doesn't look genuine. So, if you're not feeling 100% there at the time of your photo shoot, then let your photographer know, see what they can work out. This is also a great time for me to plug about my pre-shoot consults that I offer to all my clients. I think, especially if you don't know me personally, it can be very, very daunting meeting your photographer for the first time and having that be the day that you do your photo shoot. So what I do is I offer a pre-shoot consult, which can be done either over the phone or video call or even in person. And it's basically just an opportunity for us to get to know each other, allow me to provide more context in terms of what our photo shoot is going to look like. This also helps us make sure that we're aligned in terms of what we want the outcome of the photo shoot to be, what kind of images you're looking for, the style that you're looking for, if there's any contributing elements that you want included in the photo shoot. This is all a great time to discuss all those things rather than saving it all for the day of. And so that's something that I did with the sole intention of it allowing my client the opportunity to be relaxed and content and carefree at the time of their photo shoots. Over the course of my 11 years of doing photography, I've heard a lot of horror stories of people just having really bad experiences with their photographers. And, it kills me when I hear that, because I am so heavily passionate about the photography industry and what it can do to people. I think we have a true gift of being able to visually represent each person that steps in front of our camera. And, when I hear negative stories about photographers making shameful comments to their client, or being unprofessional, or not holding up their end of the bargain during their photo shoot, or just creating a very unsafe or unprofessional environment for the model, it pains me very much when I hear stuff like that. I know no matter what profession you're doing, you're going to find somebody who is like that. But I think photography is such an empowering form of art. And when people abuse that or misuse it or aren't true or honest about the work that they do, it really does ruin it for the rest of us. So I know I can't prevent this from happening to you, but just make sure when you are booking your photo shoot, you do take the time to really just research and connect with the photographer that you choose, to make sure that you're not walking into an uncomfortable situation. I think all in all, portraits are definitely where I plan on staying with my photography journey into the future. I don't see myself doing anything different, only because I just love connecting with people and really building them up and just giving them that space to be exactly who they are. I think we really need to spend more time focusing on personal development and growth, and photography allows people to witness that firsthand for themselves. Now going into this portrait series that I'm doing for myself here, I really do find that I'm finding my footing with the types of shoots that I want to do and want to be known for. While I will still take any bookings for family photos for couples, maternities, engagements, elopements, weddings, I do really think that my creative portrait series is what's going to make me unique and allow me to stand out from the rest. And this portrait series that I'm doing is a perfect display of that. So if you haven't checked out my creative portrait series project, head to my Instagram at jaden.wheeler and check out all my recent posts. I've posted, I think, about three sets for each shoot that I've done so far. I have my next photo shoot for this series coming up at the end of the month, which I'm super excited for. And yeah, I think, if you ever want to chat or just understand what my photo shoots are all about, or the kind of person that I am, or just have any questions or comments about anything in the photography industry that you've pondered or experienced or want advice on, leave a comment below, send me a message, whatever you need to do, let me know. So with that, I'll let you guys go. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really does mean a lot. Follow me on Instagram at jaden.wheeler. You can follow me on TikTok as well, Life in Autofocus series, or jaden.wheeler as well. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.